Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the AI. I'm your host, the Data Doc, and today we're going to be going through this multi-AI agent. This AI agent will access YouTube's analytics and identify your niche and what's been trending the last few days in your niche. Once it understands your niche, it will access this workflow down here and will automatically start posting YouTube shorts on your niche, just like this video right here.
Have you ever realized productivity apps are just gym memberships for your phone? You download them, swear this one's the one, and then crickets. You spend hours organizing instead of doing, like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. You're still going down. Everyone's hopping on the newest app like it's a trend diet, promising to change your life while murdering your time. Why pay for your own procrastination? It's like a magician's trick. Abracadabra, where'd all my time go? Look, the only app you need is Do Something. Remember, the App Store's a buffet, but you're still going home hungry. Like it or don't, but don't pretend your screen time ain't a buffet of excuses. Click that button so you don't lose this to your digital clutter.
So if you find value in this video, please like and subscribe. Join my school community where you can download this JSON for $9. I also will provide you with a faceless YouTube content creation right here. And you can merge all this into one. So if you don't want to spend the $9 on the JSON file and how to connect it, you can stay tuned to this video to get a step-by-step guide of how to build this out, and you can do it yourself. So before we go into the step-by-step process of what's happening, I want to open this up and show you what's happening here. So when I open up my chat window and I ask it a question, hey, how are you? The chat is getting sent and it's going to the agent. The agent is only understanding what it is and it returns that information. So if I look here, the agent, which is above, has passed through this information. The system prompt that we prompt the agent with. So we have a system prompt that is always running, and it passes to OpenAI. And then it passes through the in chat right here. We see this in chat, which goes down to the AI model, right? So now when I open this, it's processed one time. So I've gotten this information that was sent through, and then it goes through here and says, this is the response to the agent. So the OpenAI is responding to the agent, and then it presents it to you in the chat window. What this is doing is it's updating each chat. So we have a length. So we have a length of 5 memory. So this Windows buffer memory will remember 5 messages in the chat. You can modify this, but it's going to remember 5. So if you ask it, hey, how are you doing? And then you say you're good, it's going to remember that you're doing good and start talking to you. So then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to tell it. So it's asking you some examples. It's asking you for your trends. So now let's do fitness. And so now it's going to search this, and then it's going to process the sub agent. And what's happening here is if I go to my sub agent, this is the sub agent. I can go to executions. And if I go to executions, I can see all my executions I've done. And here is the execution that just happened right now. That information was brought in from the higher agent. That's what this is doing right here. And then that information is processed by YouTube. The search query home workouts were passed through down here to the query. And then we have an expression that limits the time frame. So now we have a date and time with an expression here so that we know how far back it's going to get data on. And then we have the relevance and moderate. That information is then passed through to the next workflow. The next workflow goes through and it passes that to a loop. This loop passes through one of the items. And so now that information is sent to the video data. So now this information is sent to the Google APIs. It's going to be linked in the description below. And then this is going to go through and continue to run until it's completed. Once this is complete, the relative data is going to be processed and passed back up to the agent. That agent then sends it to the OpenAI, which analyzes it and then sends it back up to the agent for your response. So now with that long way to explain what's happening, we have the analysis right here. This has provided 3 basic routines, and it's provided observations and different type of information for you. It has a recommendation, it has observation and insights. And so what we can do is we can go here and we can click one of these. So let's go core workouts and focus, 5-minute deep burn. Then what I can do is I can say, create a YouTube video on and copy and paste it in. So now if I go here and I put create a YouTube short on core abs focus on this specific significant interest core, it's going to work through this and it's going to send it to the YouTube short video. Now, what this workflow is doing is we can go to the executions and we can see this in live time. It's actually running. And what this is doing is it's going to process what we've provided it and create a YouTube video. So if we go to our executions and we access one of the nodes that has executed, we can see we have the information that's passed through. And the first OpenAI, which will say it's an extremely high energy version of Dave Chappelle and Mark Norman, a savage, witty stand-up comedian. What I did, I'll provide you the way of what I did to create this in the step-by-step tutorial. But essentially what this is doing is we're giving it a role and we're telling it to produce the content. That information is coded, and this code node is going to pass through some information. It's going to split up the keywords and it's going to split up all of the information so that it doesn't have the title in the script. It doesn't say script. Have you ever finalized a product and keep going? So it takes out the AI language. And then at the end, we have an end result of the information. That information is captured in our Google Sheets so that we can track and understand what we produced. And then we have 2 routes here. So the top route is accessing our ElevenLabs API. So the top route is accessing our ElevenLabs and Hedra. And then the bottom route is using OpenAI to generate an image that then gets passed through to Hedra, which will create a video that coincides with the audio file. That information is merged into one node. The video is created and then uploaded to YouTube. So now we're going to move into building this out. So to build this out, I want to go into my n8n environment, and I have a bunch of videos here and I have a bunch of workflows here, but I want to click create a new one. I'm always going to click create a new name. So this is going to be YouTube trend ID video. So I know to delete it. Creating an agent is relatively easy. The first thing we need to do is give it a trigger. Every n8n node starts with a trigger. And in this case, what we want to do is create an on-chat trigger. Say that 10 times. What that basically means is whenever we're working on this to develop it, we can open a chat and we can start a dialogue with the agent. So when we want to ask it a question, all we have to do is type it in down here. The first thing to do to create an agent is obviously we need to go to an advanced AI, which is going to allow us to collect an agent right here. And basically what this agent is, it's a shell. It doesn't really have any information. It's just a body and it needs a brain. And we'll give it a brain, but the first thing we need to do is we need to change this to define below. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to define the role that we're going to give this agent. So we need to give it a user message. This expression that we place in here is going to pass in the information from the chatbot. So now whatever you ask it, it's going to pass that information in. If we click down here and we add an option, we're going to have an option for a system message. What this means is we're going to send this system a message and ask it to do something all the time. So the system is always receiving this information. What changes is the information we're inputted from the in chat. So basically what we're doing is we can give this a personality, we can give it roles, we can give it limitations, and that's where the system message comes into play. You want to restrain its ability and provide all the tools it needs to complete. So here we break it down into step-by-step process of what it should do. To build this out, what I did was I used OpenAI. So if you go into OpenAI, what you can do is you can take a screenshot of this, just like this. You can take a screenshot of it, just like this. And then you can go into your OpenAI. You can copy that, go into your OpenAI, and you can paste it in here. And when you paste it in here, you can say, rewrite this. I want the agent to focus on Facebook. And then this will rewrite this so that it's a Facebook type of agent. And so that's how you can rewrite this. So never start from scratch. Always start with AI and redoing things. So now with this agent complete, I want to talk through what this agent is doing. So we're telling the agent it's a very helpful YouTube trend analysis agent, and it helps creators find trends in videos based on their specific niche. Step one is to verify the niche and the information. So it's going to ask you questions to verify your niche. Step two is to conduct YouTube analysis. And it's going to do this by calling this tool right here, which is the second workflow we will work through. Step three is to analyze the findings, understand it, and then present it to you. Step four is to return the analytics. And then we also provided a limitation in this. So the limitation that we gave the AI was it's only allowed to create a video when we give it this specific prompt. Create a YouTube short on the topic. Because what we don't want to do is have the AI work autonomously and start creating YouTube videos on its own. So what we did was we limited it by the command, and it will only create a YouTube short if you prompt it with this. So now that we have the agent complete, what we need to do is we need to give it some memory. So we have the body, we need to give it memory. And what we're going to do is we're going to use OpenAI. And this chat model is going to be 4.0. So we need to change this from mini to 4.0 because the reason we're changing this is a little bit more of a complex task. So we want to give it a little bit more reasoning information. So then with this complete, the simple thing to do is add memory so that it understands the context of the messages it's receiving. And then we have a couple of tasks. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go in here and we need to call a workflow from a tool. Now, if you're building this from scratch, you're going to have to create these sub agents before you can do this. But we'll walk through the steps and I'll show you what to do. So you want to give it a name, and the name cannot have any spaces, but basically it's going to be YouTube or whatever you want to name it. And you do need to rename the call n8n workflow. The reason you need to rename this is because the agent is going to look for this tool by name. So the name inside of the prompt that we gave the agent is the YouTube search. So when we rename this, we have the agent, which is right here. It's prompted to say, call YouTube search to conduct this task. And so it will know this is what it needs to call. We need to give it a description. So our description is call this tool to search the trends of YouTube videos based on the query. The last thing that we need to do is give it the workflow that it needs to access. This workflow is going to be YouTube search. And now this is complete. So now with this complete, we're going to move on to the next one. The next node is going to be another execute from a workflow. So what this is going to do is it's going to create the video, and we will create the step-by-step process of what it's creating. The first part is going to be renaming this. Again, this is an important step because we need to make sure that name matches the AI agent. There's been many times I run into errors, and the error is simply that. And I have to go in and do a lot of debugging because I've renamed things wrong. From this, I'm going to access the workflow. The workflow I'm going to access is the YouTube short. And now this node is complete. So now with this complete, I have completed the first AI agent. This is the overall agent that calls the sub agents. Now, again, the next thing we're going to do is we need to reopen our n8n window. We have the main agent complete. It's right here. And now I want to create the sub agent. Now, the sub agent has to be in its own environment so that it knows to call it. So the first thing we need to give this is a trigger, as always. So before we give it a trigger, we want to rename this so that I know to delete it and you know which one it's going to call. This one's going to be called YouTube search with lowercase. So now with this complete, all I have to do is click the plus. It's already over here on the left. And I'm going to create when and execute by another workflow. So this one right here in the middle, I'm going to click this. And what this is going to do is it's going to pull in the information that was sent from the higher agent. We want to accept all data. And this node is completed. The next thing we need to do is a YouTube video. We need to get some videos. So now I have YouTube. So now I access YouTube and I need to get videos. So get many videos. This is going to allow me to get as many videos as I want, but I want to limit it to 3 videos. And the way this is going to be set up is if you go to your Google Cloud Console, you can set this up there. And then you just copy and paste your API key in. So the next thing I need to do is I need to add a filter. The filter I need to add is published after. Once I do that, I want to copy this and I'm going to show you what it says. So here's the expression. Now, what I want you to do is take a screenshot of this expression and then just tell the AI to rewrite it. If you're not going to purchase this for $9, just take a screenshot of this and tell the AI to rewrite it. Then the next thing I'm going to do is add a query. So this query is going to be here is the query term. And basically this is the term that's passed through from the higher model. Now we need to add a So the next thing I need to do is add a region. And this is so that it limits it to a specific area. And I want to go down to the United States of America. So now I have United States. And then I can go down by options and I can add in the order and by relevance. So now this is going to search it by relevance and then safe search to moderate. And now this node is completed. With this complete, the next node we need to do is a loop node. And this loop node is going to continue the process until we get all 3 of the videos we need. This will get moved down and I'm going to add a node here. And this node is going to be an HTTP node. And this node is going to find the video and it's going to get it from the Google analytics. So this is going to access Google's API and it's going to download the video. Now, to do this, we don't need the authentication. We're going to go down to send a query parameter. The query parameter is going to be the API key. So just put key here. So here's your key, and then type in your API key here. So copy and paste that in. Aside from that, we need to add another parameter. This parameter is going to be your ID. And then we need to give it a value. This value is going to be the video ID that's passed through. It does need to be an expression. And now this is complete. And we're moving to the next one, which is one more parameter, which is a part. So now this part is going here. And then we're going to paste in the content details and snippets and statistics. So now this is going to get us all of this information. So now with this is done, this is actually complete. I'm going to delete this now, since now I have this node here, and I'm going to continue to build off of this node. The next node is an if node. This if node is going to route the information a specific way. So now what this is going to do is we want to do a condition, and this condition is going to go inside of the value, and this value needs to be an expression. Of course, it's going to be red for the moment because I have nothing tied into it. And then what I want to change this to is string exist. So now this is saying if this string exists, it's going to be passed through. Now with this complete, we are moving to the next node, and this next node is going to pass this through back here. And then we need to delete the true one. So now this is a little confusing. Let's just do it here. See what that does. Of course. So now I'm going to pass this false one back in. And then we need to go up the true. So now the true is going to give us an edit nodes field. And this edit node field is going to have a lot of variables. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I'll start copying and pasting this in. So basically what this is doing is it's getting each information that we presented here. So we have all of the information. The first one is going to be the ID. The next thing we need to do is pass through the JSON expression for ID. So here is that expression. And then I make sure I click expression, and now this is prepared. The next is going to be how many viewers did it get? Is this a good video, or was this not very high quality or high engaging? Now we need to pass that expression through. So this expression would get that information for you. And we're going to do this for each one. So now we have like counts. So how many people liked this video? It received 700 likes. So that is pretty good. And then we have the expression for the statistics. We make sure this is on expression. And then the next one is comment count. So how many comments? Again, comment things on our videos. People are doing this. It's a thing, actually. Now copy this and paste it into here. Make sure this is an expression. This is going to get you the statistics to that. The next count is going to be the description of the video. You can use this in many ways. You can use this to repurpose your video. You can use this to rename your video. Then we have a couple more. We have 2 more. We want to get the channel title. So now with this complete, we're going to pass this through, and this is all the information that we needed. So then we are going to pass this through a code node. This code node is going to process this information and send it back through the loop. I'm going to open up my screen so you can take a screenshot and rewrite it. So here is the video. Here is the code that you want to write. So take a screenshot. So one screenshot, rewrite it, and then another one and rewrite it. And this is going to be looped back to here. So now this is almost done. What we need to do is two more things. We need one more code node. This code node is right here, and I'm going to give you the opportunity for a screenshot. This code is going to identify the location, and it's going to give you the statistics. So here's your opportunity for a screenshot. So go ahead and snip this up and then rewrite it with OpenAI. And now you can go back here, and now you want to send up the response. So we have another edit node. This edit node is going to be, let's see what this one is, a response. The response is going to be from the output. So here's what you paste, response. And then if you want to take a screenshot of this and rewrite it with OpenAI, here is your response as an expression. So it's going to return all of the information. That information will be sent up to the higher model, and then this node is completed. So now with this completed, I want to move on to my YouTube short, and this is going to be the video creation part of the video. All right. So building this out, the first part is always going to start with the trigger. This trigger, again, is going to start with a higher execution from an AI agent. So now we're going to accept all the data, and we're going to continue moving on. The next thing is an OpenAI message a model. So here is the OpenAI, the message a model. And what this is going to do is we want to have this as a text, message a model, and then we want a message 4.0. Once we have this complete, we want to send through a system prompt, and this is going to be the system prompt. Here is the system prompt. And you can take a screenshot of this and rewrite it. And then I will scroll down to the bottom, and now you can take another one and rewrite this. Once this is complete, we can send this through, and it is completed. Now we have this one complete. The next thing we need to do is we need to start processing that data, and we need to split it out, because what's going to happen is this is going to send you one code of structured data. It's going to give you a paragraph. What you need to do is you need to start splitting that paragraph into chunks so that you don't have information you don't want inside of your videos. So now this is what this node is going to do. And basically, you can take a screenshot of this. And then you can take another screenshot here. And then the last screenshot here. And I do want to show you that this does have an Ask AI method. You do have to have data coming in, but you can tell it, split the data and give it instructions, and it will generate that code for you. It's hit and miss sometimes, but it's better than nothing. The next thing is we're going to do is a code node again. And what this code node is going to do is we've split the data into multi-structures, and now we have it telling you this is the title and this is the text. This is the keywords, and these are the keywords. This is the script, and this is the script. We need to take out those headers of that information. So this is going to take out the header so that when your AI is reading the script, it's going to not read what it's not supposed to. So now with this complete, we're going to close this node out. We have the basis of this completed. Now we're going to move on to our Google Sheets. So now I'm going to type Google Sheets. And this is going to be a append and update a row. And now I need to find the video sheet. So this is the YouTube short generator. And then the next one is sheet 1. And then we need to map each column manually. We're going to map this from the title. So I'm going to type title. And then I'm going to put these expressions in each one of these. So the first one is this. Changes to an expression. The next one is the keywords. And this is just going to log our, and this is just going to log our information so that we have a tracker of what we've posted and we don't make the same content over and over again. Turn this into an expression too. And then this is completed and we want to leave uploaded blank. So now with this complete, we have that sheet updated. And now we're going to move to the next node. We're going to click this plus and we're going to start creating the OpenAI message, a model node. This node is a text, it's message, a model, and this one needs to be a 4.1. So with this completed, we have the prompt right here. So here's the prompt. I'm going to give you an opportunity for a screenshot. And basically you can modify this, take a screenshot and say, make it different in whatever you want it to be. And it will create it in that way for you. With this complete, we want to make sure this is outputted as a JSON. And now this node is good to go. We can move to the next one. I'm going to move this down so that I know that there's another workflow up here. So this workflow is going to create the image. So the next thing I need to create is an HTTP node. This HTTP node is going to be an OpenAI node. So basically here's the URL. We don't need to authenticate, but we will send a header. And the header is going to be where we authenticate. And what we're going to do is we're going to send over authorization. And then here we're going to type bearer and then API key. So one space and then your API key. With this completed, I need to send the body. And the body is going to remain as use the fields below. And we're going to tell it what model to use. So here's the model. And then here is what we need to tell it. GPT image 1. So here is what it's going to create. And then the next thing is we need 2 more parameters. So one is a prompt. And the next thing is a JSON message. So now this is the message from the other node, and this is going to be an expression. And then this parameter is going to be the value of the size of the image along with the name. So the name is the size. And now this node is completed and I can close it out. So the next node is going to be convert this file. So this is a convert file. Convert file. And this is going to be from base 64 string. So basically from that, all I need to do is pass through the data from OpenAI as an image that it created. So then we have some remnants of an image that it can send through. With this completed, I need to send this to Hedra. And this is going to be linked in the description below, but this is going to be an HTTP request. And this is going to be a node that is going to get public access. So I'm going to send you this URL, and then we're going to send a body. And the body is going to be as a JSON. And then we're going to copy and paste this in. And basically it's telling it to create the image. Make sure this is an expression and this is actually fixed and it's good to go. Now we're almost done with this section. I'm going to raise it up and then I need to click this one more time. And this is going to be a merge node. This merge node is going to be pushed out here. And then we clean this up so it looks neat and we can follow our workflow. And now with this completed, we need to create a code node. This code node, I'm going to give you the opportunity to take a snippet. And then this snippet is just going to pass through the file in the right format. Here is your opportunity to screenshot it. With this completed, we're going to move to the next node, and then this is our last one before we do a major change. So now this is an HTTP node. This node is going to be a request node. So this is going to be a post. Let me double check this one. I think this one needs to be a post also. Yep, this is a post node. So remember, these are all post nodes right here. Now we need to give it a URL. This URL is going to be an expression, which means it changes every time. And the way it changes is off of this right here. This grayed out part is going to pass the JSON ID and change this URL every time. So once we have this completed, we have our authentication to Hedra. The next thing we need to do is send the body. So sending the body through, we want to send we want to send this from form data. The form data is going to change to an n8n binary data. The name is going to be a file. And then the file input is going to be data. And then with this is completed, and now this part of it is completed. So now this will create our video. Now we're going to go back up and we're going to do a voice generator. This is through ElevenLabs. So now we're going to do another HTTP node. And this HTTP node is going to be a post node again. So we need to change this to post. And then I'm going to give you the URL. So it's a ElevenLabs URL. And then we need to send the header to authenticate. So the authentication is going to just be this right here as the name. So you want to put XI API key, and then in the value, put your API key. So where you get your API key is from ElevenLabs. So here is ElevenLabs. And essentially what you're going to do for your API key is access this website. You can create a new API key, hit create, and it will give you your API key. Everything's going to be linked in the description below. You paste that in, and this is completed. Once you do this, you want to send a body, and the name is going to be a text. This is going to send over text, and what it's going to pass through is the script. So the script will be passed through so that ElevenLabs can create a AI generated file for this. With this completed, the next thing we want to do is just take our cursor and go here and copy this right here. So copy these four and then paste it. And now this is how we're going to run this. This can go straight across, and then this can go up right here. And now this nodes are all completed. They don't need to change. But because we have audio file and we have video file, they're two separate structured data. What we need to do is we need to merge them to make one uniform data structure. So now what this is going to do is it's going to be a merge node. This merge node is going to take these two and put them into one schema. The next thing is we're running out of space. So let's open up our space. We're going to hit code, and now we're going to run a script to complete this. So this is going to copy the image, and I'm going to paste it in here so that you can take the image and put it in OpenAI. So go ahead and recreate this in OpenAI. And basically this is generating the image and the URL and structuring the data the way it's supposed to be. With this completed, we're going to message Hedra a couple of times. So this is going to be an HTTP node. And what you want to do to get your API for Hedra, it's going to be linked in the description below. Basically, just copy your API key, and then you create a new authentication. This is going to be a post node. If you have any issues connecting your authentication, please comment below and I will walk you through any issues you are having. This does need to be changed to using JSON. And then this is going to be what we want to send it. And basically, this is coming from the Hedra website. And I can send you the document over. But basically, what this is doing is creating a video. It's telling it what model to use. It's telling you the image. It's passing an image to it, the audio file, and it's merging it all together. This does need to be an expression. So now these are passed through from the previous nodes, and then this node is completed. With this completed, we need to add a wait node. You can wait as long as you would like. But just add it a couple minutes, maybe change this to 5 minutes. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to stop and wait here for a second. The reason you want to do that is you don't want to access Hedra and then access it again immediately. Hedra is going to hit your rate limits and then you're going to not be able to do it. It's going to fall apart. So then the next thing we need to do is an HTTP node. Once we have this wait node completed, it's going to be a get node. So now we're actually getting some information from Hedra. So Hedra's already made everything and now we're getting that information. This link needs to be an expression. The reason is we're telling it you're getting all this information from this place, but this is the file I need you to get. So this is saying equals the ID equals video and ID equals this number right here, which will be the unique number to your file. With this complete, we can send over a header. The header is going to be the X API, which is your authentication method. So this is going to send over the authentication. And here you want to put in your API key. Again, where you get this is that website linked in the description below. With that complete, this is completed and we are almost done. We have like 4 more nodes to go. So now we want to add another wait method. Here's the wait. We're going to wait. We can put 5 seconds. And then guess what we're going to do? We're going to hit Hedra again. HTTP to Hedra, and we're going to get some more information from Hedra. The next thing we're going to get is the asset URL. Once we do this, we need to turn this into an expression, and this is going to get the URL of the video. It's going to actually allow you to download that video. The problem is this is going to download this in the meme type. Now, the next thing we want to do is we need to upload it to our Google Drive. So click Google Drive, and then we need to upload a file. And we need to name it the file ID. So we need to change this. So instead of update, we need to have this as upload. And then this is going to click where it's going to upload. And now this is complete. You can change this to where you want it to upload to. So I upload mine to n8n videos. And then now you have the file path so that it's saved in one location. Now we need to download this video, which is kind of ironic, but we need to hit Google Drive and then download this video. Now I'm going to change this to ID. And then I'm going to pass through this expression. Now I want to show you why we need to do the Google upload and download. All right. So now I'm going to go to my Google download. And now we see the meme type is a video/MP4 right here. So this is bypassing one of the little, this is hacking the system in a way because Hedra is downloading your file in a binary OCT stream. Most social medias are not going to take this. They need to be an MP4. So if we upload it to Google Drive and then download it to Google Drive from Google Drive, it's going to download it in the right format we need. So with this completed, we have the file, we have the video in the right format we need. The next thing we need to do is access YouTube. Now we click YouTube. We want to go to upload a video. With this completed, we need to pass through the title of the video. So this is going to be the ID. And then we need to select the region. The region is going to be the United States of America. And then the category and name. This can be two things, okay? So I'm going to show you how this can be. This can be a number, which can be 58 if you write it as an expression. Or you can write it fixed, which would be drop down and select. So if I did the science and technology, that would be expression number 58. So, or 28, excuse me. So if you click fixed, you can select whichever one you want. So we can do comedy. If you turn it to an expression, it's an actual number. So that's pretty interesting. With this completed, we are done and we can run our workflow. So again, this video should have helped you. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe. Join my Scoot community. You can download this for $9 and save the time. I'm the Data Doc. Please comment below if you need me to work on any workflows for you. I will complete these workflows completely free, record the process, and send you the videos. Thanks. I'm the Data Doc. Bye-bye.